growing up, if I had this instead of Gatorade, I would probably be in the NBA right now. If I had this kind of hydration when I was playing basketball.
Wow.
Instead, I was drinking sugary Gatorade. I was crashing. I had a nasty flavor in my mouth. Wasn't doing what it was supposed to be. This is what Gatorade was supposed to do 20 years ago.
Hey guys, it's the No Bullshit, Just BullFit podcast, episode 2 of Hydrate. I've got my fellow co-founders here, Harrison Mitchell, Ben Wilkinson, and with us always is Todd the pharmacist. We're excited to get this started for you. Let's talk about something that is not fitness related just for a moment, because I know there's a decent sized group here that is going to be curious about its effects when it comes to hangovers. Mm-hmm. Why, when you have a hangover, do you need this product?
So the easiest way to think about it is alcohol is going to dehydrate the body. So the hangover comes about when you've had too much alcohol in the system, which is ultimately pulling fluid from the cells. Unfortunately, our brain's cardiovascular system is going to pull fluid from anywhere it can. And that is ultimately what leads to the hangover. So you're pretty much dehydrated. So any way that you can stay hydrated beforehand, during, and if you're coherent enough after, you're going to keep those cells hydrated, keep that brain of yours hydrated, and that's going to help prevent that hangover, that headache, that fog, all that stuff that comes in.
So bars should be selling this.
Absolutely.
Putting it in all the drinks.
Uh-huh.
So safe to take after a night of O'Doul's.
This is safe to take at any time, but yes.
Perfect.
So before, during, and after, if you can be mentally aware enough to stay hydrated, you will feel a whole lot better the next morning.
So take it during, not the next day. Try to do it that day.
So yeah, and worst case, if you wake up and you forgot, try to get as much in as you can. Try to get it in your system. Once again, just kind of rehydrating those cells. But it all comes down to the cellular health. When it comes to hydrating, when it comes to electrolytes, feeling good, performing good, and what we're chasing in the gym, that pump, comes down to the actual cell health. And that's where hydration kicks in.
Yeah. You're not going to get those gains unless it's hydrated.
That's right. One of the cool things, too, going back to our pre-workout, we've also got Himalayan salt in each one of our pre-workouts for that specific purpose. Help hydrate the cells and help with the pump.
Yeah,
I love it.
You can take up to 3 hydration packs and Bodacious, and you're still under that.
Oh, yeah. You will actually be,
dosing.
you're going to be right where you want to be.
You'll be the most hydrated person in the world.
You will be.
Wow.
And you're going to feel good.
Tell us about, is it good for all sports? Or is there, what?
Oh, yeah.
What's it great for?
It is so good for any kind of physical activity. So in my mind, like growing up, if I had this instead of Gatorade, I would probably be in the NBA right now. If I had this kind of hydration when I was playing basketball.
Wow.
Instead, I was drinking sugary Gatorade. I was crashing. I had a nasty flavor in my mouth. Wasn't doing what it was supposed to be. This is what Gatorade was supposed to do 20 years ago. This is going to rehydrate you. You're going to perform better, feel better before, during, and after.
Didn't it start that way? Didn't the Gatorade start with electrolytes?
Well, they put electrolytes in it, but they loaded it with sugar. They just and the thought process behind sugar is it's going to help you absorb. Sugar is going to help you absorb these and put it into the cell. The problem with sugar is you're also going to spike your insulin. When you spike your insulin, you're just going to build. So unless your body is primed to only build muscle, you're also going to build fat. And you're also going to be spiking your insulin, which can lead to insulin insensitivity.
Especially with liquid sugar, too.
Liquid sugar causes insulin spikes far greater than like a candy bar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's really like Haterade.
I had no idea.
Absolutely. And some of those drinks had 40 grams of sugar.
It's like soda.
Uh-huh.
That's like this. That's like if you were to, how much sugar is that if you were to show us with your hand?
Oh, that's like a whole handful of sugar right there.
Like literally, actually.
Yeah, it's like a handful of sugar that they just dump in.
40?
And so
Goodness
looking at
sakes.
overall health, longevity, we're trying to keep those insulin spikes under control. When there's too much sugar in the blood, our body recognizes that, tells our pancreas to release insulin, and then our body has to work on clearing that sugar out of the blood. Well, if we're constantly doing that, our receptors are going to become a little less sensitive and we don't respond as efficiently to those sugar spikes, ultimately leading to diabetes. So if we can keep those insulin spikes under control, especially in a liquid form. And the other thing, when you're drinking hydration, it's usually not post-meal. It's usually when you're waking up, you're about to do a sporting event, you usually don't have a lot of food in your stomach, which makes you even that much more sensitive to those spikes. So if you can have something that's not going to send those spikes, send that insulin through the roof, you're going to keep your receptors sensitive and healthy, while at the same time doing what you're supposed to do, which is hydrate the cell. We want insulin spikes. We don't want it with a liquid hydrating supplement.
Well, the insulin sensitivity beyond just diabetes, it seems to be key for all levels of health.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not just, oh, I'm going to get diabetes. I mean, you're getting less and less healthy as you go.
Absolutely.
So it's really important to be on top of.
We're talking cardiovascular health. We're talking brain health. Not being able to regulate our blood sugar correctly is one of the scariest things that can happen to the human body. And we're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes now. Wow. It's wreaks havoc on the body, and you can kiss the gains goodbye. If you can't get your blood sugar under control, you're gonna build fat, you're gonna burn muscle, you're gonna feel bad, and lead to a whole host of
reverse
problems.
gains.
Reverse gains.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yep.
Big gains.
So yeah, the way that we've gone about creating this, we've got the all-natural flavoring. Our sweeteners are all natural that do not cause that insulin spike. One of the things that we're seeing now with a lot of these artificial sweeteners is they're causing these insulin spikes. I call them a fake insulin spike. You're still causing a spike in insulin, but there's no sugar in the blood. But because these artificial sweeteners are so sweet, you're ultimately tricking the brain, and the brain will then overcompensate, override the system and tell the pancreas to release that insulin, and then there's nothing to pull out of the blood.
It's preparing for sugar.
It's preparing for sugar. That's not coming. And it's just going to lead quicker to that insensitivity, which is going to lead to those problems.
Jeez.
Yikes.
False spikes.
Exactly.
And so we've really designed this with having the natural sweeteners, having the correct dosing. This is something that everyone can take. It's amazing for kids, teenagers, parents could feel great about giving this to their children.
Yep. I'll have
place of Gatorade.
my 3 kids on it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we used to drink Gatorade all the time, all summer. And this is something that you can feel confident just loading your kids up, give them something that tastes great, and they could drink it all day.
Absolutely. And touching back on kind of the purity with BullFit, something that came up recently with this Hydrate which is shocking, but our sodium level came incorrectly. It wasn't where it needed to be. I don't know another company that would test sodium to begin with, but to have it underperforming, we had to push hold, do it correctly, make sure we're getting that proper dosing. And it's once again, just going back to what we do at BullFit. It's all about the quality, the purity, and the effectiveness for each individual person.
Yeah, I had to
Take the no bullshit
push back that count down
seriously.
a little bit.
But it's going to be
It
worth
was
it.
all good for the consumer.
Exactly, right? The one thing that we do that I think most of the companies don't is we won't sacrifice quality just to push something out a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
100%.
And we were totally shocked, even when we were first coming up with our first product, Bodacious and Cowabunga products. They asked us, what kind of filler content do you want to add to this? And we were pretty blown away that they even asked the question to begin with.
Which is terrifying, because that means that everyone else, that was a common question, which means that was the standard way of practice.
Yeah.
Right?
Not
We're coming in, we're trying to disrupt that. Like, that should be a question that should never be asked. What kind of filler do you want in a supplement for someone to take for their health? So,
And if
how
you're
do
getting Botox or something,
Yeah.
and that's the only time it's a proper.
that's the only time.
Yeah, what's this
Here,
hyaluronic
what
acid
is
in your
going on
face?
here?
Yeah.
So, Ben, do you want to go over what we do to make sure our products are as close to 100%?
Whenever the ingredients come in, we test them for purity, and usually we try to use high purity suppliers, so it's coming in at a minimum of 97%. And so we take that test where it is exactly, and then wherever it ends up, we add back in more of the ingredient, no filler, to make sure it's at 100% every single ingredient. So we take the purity very seriously, and because we think ultimately, this is what you're buying. You look at the ingredients and you say, okay, I'm getting this sodium, or with the pre-workout, I'm getting this much creatine or this much beta-alanine. And we intend to fully deliver that exact amount. And people notice the difference. A lot of times people are like, they're getting more reps, they're lasting longer, they're not getting a crash, which also maybe from the filler, and
Lasts way longer.
they last way longer. And a lot of that has to do with our ingredient choice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that has to do with not having artificial ingredients, which can really mess with your system. And a big part of that is we just put in what we fucking say we put in.
It was mind-boggling to me to hear that everybody was putting 0 calories, even though they had citrulline in theirs, and that there is actually some calories in citrulline.
Yeah, roughly
So
6 grams is about 24 to 25 calories. And most companies do around that 6 gram mark.
How can any bodybuilder that's doing a prep not say, okay, BullFit really puts exactly what's in there and just use us?
I think it comes down to just education. Once again, the companies aren't providing the information, and I'd say most people don't pay attention enough. So it comes down to educating, this is what's actually in it, because I think if people knew that, less people would be, so easily inclined to take it, especially if they're trying to work out in a fasted state, which so many people nowadays are trying to do. Mm-hmm. They've actually found, random note, you can increase your caloric intake by almost 30% with no weight gain if you work out in the morning in a fasted state.
Wow.
On a 1,000 calorie diet, that's 300 calories a day. On a 2,000 calorie diet, you can increase 600 calories a day.
Wow.
Not increase your overall weight. Working out in a fasted state first thing in the morning.
Wow.
Which means you're burning those excess calories. So a lot of people are trying to get that fasted state, get that exercise in. Mm-hmm. You put 25 calories worth of, L-citrulline in your system, that's going to kick you out of that fasted state.
Gotcha.
So it's just something that they're not talking about, they're not sharing. At BullFit, we want you to know. Ours has 6 grams of L-citrulline. For us, the blood flow, the pump, that's why we go to the gym. So we're going to put it in there. It's one of the best ingredients out there. For overall health, it's one of the best ingredients. But we're not going to sit there and lie to you and say, yeah, this is a 0 calorie product. That's not how we do it. That's not how we do business. And it's going to inform you.
Now, would 24 calories be enough to kick you out of a fast?
Depends on how strict you are, and it depends on who you talk to. Some say 5 calories can kick you out. Some say it's closer to 100. So it just depends on the person. I think you're still going to get 97% of the benefits with 25, 30 calories in your system of fasting. And honestly, the study that came out and looked at the caloric intake and the working on a fasted state, it didn't say if they were at a 0 calorie marker. They just said they were in a fasted state.
Tell us about what's inside this pouch, why it's great, and how much it's going to be.
So within the pouch, you're going to have 16 different individual packs. We have 4 different flavors. So 4 of each flavor. We've got the pina colada, my personal favorite, coconut lime, kiwi strawberry, and peach mango. Within each pack itself, we've got the sodium chloride, which is salt. We've got magnesium malate, and we've got potassium gluconate. Each pack will contain 16 slap packs. It's going to cost $24.95. It will be available on the website, of course, bullfit.com. It's going to be available in a ton of retailers.
You can slap any of these packs into 16 to 32 ounces of water, or if you're like me, sparkling water. I like sparkling water. Some people says it tastes like TV static. I love it.
Oh, I used to lick the TV.
Those are the shows.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, get that static. Now you can drink it.
So, yeah. So I mean, on the back here we put hydration booster, and we put that there for a reason. Why do we put that there?
Because water alone is not enough to get fully hydrated.
So okay, so we were to name drop. Tell us why it could be potentially better than like a liquid IV or something else that maybe other people are used to taking.
Yeah. So the first big thing is I think other companies put too much salt, which can lead to the opposite effect, which is pulling fluid from the cells, so almost a dehydrated effect. And they put in too many ingredients. Anytime you throw calcium in with magnesium, your body's going to have a hard time absorbing both. It's going to prioritize the calcium. When it comes to hydrating, I believe magnesium is more important. And ours has got no artificial anything. It's as clean, it's as pure, it's been third-party tested, it's been formulated correctly, there's been no shortcuts. You can take every slap pack with confidence, knowing you're getting exactly what is on that label, which I believe no other company can say.
And it tastes amazing, so you're going to want to drink it. And if you have kids, it's going to be easy to keep them hydrated because they're going to love it.
Especially through the
feel
summer, hot months.
Yeah.
Temperatures bursting through triple digits.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about our packaging a little bit. We got coconut lime.
There you go.
This one is going to be the peach mango.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're so full.
I love it.
Pina colada. And then we've got kiwi strawberry. Oh, I can hold this one. Yeah, I guess we're good with that one.
So yeah, Ben, tell us, why did we go with individual packets instead of like a tub that you scoop out?
Yeah, the nice thing about individual packets is you can throw the whole bag in your backpack, or if you're on the go, you can just take 1 or 2 packets, keep it in your gym bag, in your pocket. It's easy to put into any sort of water source or any drink, really, and just have it on the go.
Well, being in Utah and Idaho with all the outdoor recreation that we have, instead of having to carry like a tub with you in your backpack, like you mentioned, you can take this. But while you're up in the altitude with the heat, with the cold, it stays fresh the whole time. You're not going to have any kind of mildew, any bacteria, anything growing in while you're out either camping or exploring or doing those things, being in these great states.
Yeah, it's perfect for like mountain biking. Let's say you go down the hill, tired, rip one of these open, pour it in, drink it. Hunting, great for hunting. Other activities,
Paddle boarding.
Yeah, you can just put it in your water bottle, or if you forgot a water bottle, you have a few of them in your pocket or your pack. You go buy a water bottle at the store, at the gym, and you can just throw them right in there.
So I've even dry scooped this bad boy to taste the flavoring.
Wow.
It was still good.
Todd.
Yeah,
Wow.
just to taste that extra saltiness. But even if you don't have some water, you just want some
Yeah.
salt. Tastes pretty good.
Get hydrated.
These packets really can get warm though, Todd. And it's okay.
Yeah, so they're sealed. They've been tested for purity. They're sealed. They're clean. So, I mean, you don't want to store them in hot weather, but let's say that you've been hiking all day and they're in your backpack. Bust one of these open, just as safe, just as effective.
Why is it important to do 16 or 32 ounces? Why is it important to do any ounces at all? Like, I don't understand that.
So the ounces are going to come, so 2 things. Your flavor and salty preference. The less liquid you have, the stronger the flavor, the more salty it is. But the more water you can add to it, the better you're going to hydrate. You're still going to get the same amount of electrolytes, whether it's in 10 ounces or 40 ounces. The more water you can put into your body, you're getting enough of those salts, you're getting enough of those electrolytes. The more water you can put in the body, the better it's going to be. So it depends on your preference when it comes to flavor and saltiness, and also kind of what makes you feel good. A lot of times you drink too much water, you get kind of that bloated feeling, you feel heavy, kind of sluggish. So if that's your situation, less water, same packet. Yep, 16 to 30, and that's the thing. That range is just a good, safe range that most people feel really well on. You're going to hydrate well enough with liquid, while at the same time not doing too much to overdo kind of that heavy gut feeling that you can get from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and most water bottles, like say from the store, are generally speaking around 16.
It's like
32
16.69.
ounces.
Yeah.
Yep.
How can we pick up Hydrate?
Yeah, so Hydrate will be available for pre-order on the website. And you can also find it at many different retailers, which you have listed on the site as well. That'll be the best place. It's going to be $24.95 for this pouch, which will include 16 what we call slap packs.
Yeah.
It's far better than slapping your, what is it?
Significant other.
Yeah, that.
highly
Or I was
frowned
going to say
upon.
tobacco. People slap their tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
We slap our. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
What is that, 1950
Yeah.
again?
Let it go.
Hey,
Yeah, okay, Sean Connery.
dinner's not ready again, huh? Come here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, that concludes episode 2 of Hydrate from the No Bullshit, Just BullFit podcast. Remember, where you're going to want to go to get this is going to be bullfit.com.